Welcome to the 8th workshop in the series of the Angel Accelerator, powered by Fletch. A little bit about me for those of you who haven't been participating in the workshops. My name's Looney. I'm a serial entrepreneur turned investor and teacher. I spent the first 20 years of my career in tech, building software companies. I was a serial software entrepreneur with 5 startups, which I founded or co-founded. The last 4 venture-backed. And then I had an epiphany and I had a change of heart and change of mind in 2011, 2012. I discovered a very strange business school called Bainbridge Graduate Institute. It is and was the first business school ever on the planet to teach how to do good through for-profit means. Hung out there for a year before they asked me to teach, taught there for 7 years, and then from that teaching, learned that it was possible to do good through business, and from that started Fledge, which is a global network of conscious company accelerators. Started in Seattle, ran just here for 4 years. Now it's 7.5 years old. We have partners around the world. We help mission-driven entrepreneurs doing amazing work. And this week, we're not going to talk about any of them. Instead, we're here because this is one of the free workshops as part of the Angel Accelerator. Tonight, we're going to talk about yellow flags. The topic was angel investing, VC investing, and accelerator investing, and how do yellow flags come into this? And so start with the simple basics. If you are an active angel investor, you should be looking at least 100 deals a year, if not 200 or 300 deals a year, in order to say yes to one of them. So the default in this case, the default is no. You look at hundreds, you say no to most of them, you pick one. If you're a venture capitalist, if you're a professional investor, you're not going to look at hundreds, you're going to look at thousands of companies before you pick one to invest in. So in both cases, the default behavior of the investor is to say no. The expectation when you get a new pitch is maybe this will be the next one that I invest in, but probably not. There's probably a flaw in there. And for some reason, I'm going to say no. And the flaws come in, let's just call them 2 different forms, two major forms. The most important are the red flags. So when you see a red flag, you're supposed to jump immediately to the pass pile. Just take it off your list, whether you're reading it in paper form or electronic, and just toss it aside, right? If you're nice, you can say why back to whoever sent it to you, but you're not going to fund that company. You found something incredibly wrong. Don't pass go, do not fund, just move on. So what are some of the examples of what a red flag could be? Well, this is a real company that sent me, I worked with this entrepreneur before. He sent me this pitch, right? I'm not going to read all the words to you. I'll let you do that. But basically, he proposed a fuelless generator and no explanation on how on earth it could actually make any electricity without fuel. And I've seen lots of videos and lots of discussions and whatnot, but no proof that he's actually broken the law of physics. So if you have something like that, perpetual motion, you can pretty much be sure you should pass on that. And just be clear, he had working prototypes and he's got lots of diagrams, and he sent me the video that was shot on national TV, right? It's not like he's just made up an idea. He made it look real, but it defies the laws of physics. And until someone can prove that they have found a way around what the physical laws are, that's a pass. Here's another great example, something back from 2017, 2018, cryptocurrencies. So maybe there are some good cryptocurrencies out there. I don't want to sit here and debate that right now. But when we look not at the cryptocurrencies themselves, but the ICOs, as initial coin offerings, the companies that raised money using cryptocurrency means in order to build a company. Well, the top 50, there's a video I produced on this, and I looked at all the top 50, and I looked at what they did and how much money they raised and what they produced from it. And there are some enormous numbers here, right? The number one on the list here is $257 million for a company that had no product, no prototype, just an idea. What do you need $257 million for to take an idea and come up with a prototype? That would be the normal way to raise money. And when you look at this list, these days, now it's 2-3 years later, you just find failure after failure after failure. These were bad ideas. These were bad pitches. Run screaming when you see cryptocurrency, unless you really know what you're doing. One of them, in fact, and I found articles about this today as I put the slides together, one of them was called Ponzi coin. But there are lists of cryptocurrencies that were Ponzi schemes. And this one dared to call itself Ponzi coin. And you can see this is a screenshot again from today, that the total market cap of all this work, all this effort on this one coin is worth $1,822. That's it. Period. $1,822. And no doubt when they launched it, they thought it was going to be huge, and or at least talked about it being huge and billions of dollars of value, but it's not. The last thing on the red flags are some crazy economics, some things that are just off the wall, beyond the norm, beyond expectations, kind of showing that the entrepreneur who's pitching you really doesn't understand how these things work. So the biggest one that's sitting there on the top is, I'm looking for $500,000 in exchange for 10% of the company. And if you haven't done this before, you may just shrug your shoulders and go, I don't see why that's a red flag. But if we go through the economics of deals, which we'll do another week, you'll see that doesn't make any economic sense for the investor. You'll never take 10% of the company for such a large sum of money. Or the next one, $50 million in year three. I was as an angel group a few years ago, and this is what I saw. A brand new company had maybe $10,000 or $20,000 in revenue currently, and they were predicting in 3 years they'd be a $50 million company. So when you see things like that, those are red flags that show that the entrepreneur really doesn't know how to raise money. And if they don't know how to raise money, and you haven't done it enough, you don't feel experienced that you know how to raise money, you're just gonna sit there wondering, where's the guidance? Where's the mediator to help us find the middle ground? And so it's best to just skip that entrepreneur and go on to the next one when that happens.